Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the information in chapter 2 out of my book, Master Plan Teachers. And again, it's available on Amazon and Apple Books. It's also available on Barnes & Noble. And also there's going to be periods that I'm just going to read to you the information, and then I'll stop and go deeper into the topics that are within chapter 2. So I also wanted to say, please feel free to comment in the section below anything that resonates with you, anything you'd like to share. If you have a question, please write that in the description or email me, because if you have the question, most likely there's probably somebody else who has that question too and would like the answer to it. So, and that way I can even do additional videos on the questions and material as people decide to want, more information about the topics and that we talk about in Master Plan Teachers. Okay, so we'll get started. There in no way, in shape or form, am I trying to overthrow the government by encouraging people to use psychedelics or entheogens in any way, shape, or form. What this is a documentary, or basically information about these master plan teachers. And the information that I share in my book is based on research that I have done. So with that being said, chapter 2 is Ambassadors for the Planet. The entheogenic plants are the ambassadors of the planet to help humanity wake up and change their ways that are damaging and eliminating life on Earth. These master plant teachers are trying to influence every human being on this planet to a higher vibrational way of living that promotes and sustains life. With wars, pollution, waste, toxic chemicals, deforestation, worldwide animal and bird extinctions, and many more caused by unawake humans, these entheogenic plant teachers are working as agents toward an evolutionary rise in human consciousness. The human ego is self-consumed and causing so much damage to all living beings on this planet. Many entheogenic participants are told that things need to change, and all of life is calling for the mass awakening in human consciousness. Living with the mentality that everything is disposable and about convenience causes a lifestyle that shows us where we are today with environmental master plant teacher problems, pain, suffering, and loss of life for untold amounts of living beings on Earth. The cultural environment of the 1960s in the United States was in turmoil. There was an anti-war movement against the Vietnam War. There was the sexual revolution, since birth control pills were released to the public. There was civil rights movement. There were African Americans wanting to be treated as equals, as they should be, in a society where the laws were in favor of white Americans. And then there was the psychedelics that were causing people to drop out of corrupt systems and allowing them to see through the corruption, lies, deception of the political arena. The psychedelics and the entheogens provided freedom of expression, deep mystical insights, and cultural changes. The United States government had to find a way to control the people, hence the media campaign against psychedelic, stating lies about how these psychoactive plants and non-natural psychedelics were addictive and toxic and the banning of them by making them illegal. The Controlled Substance Act was passed in 1970 by politically motivated lawmakers wanting to remove the opportunity for people to explore their inner environment, who are not wanting to be manipulated by staying in a false, deceptive, outside narrative. All the plant-based entheogenic medicine was included in Schedule 1 level, which is viewed as the most dangerous in the Controlled Substances Act of 1970. Still today, they are listed as Schedule 1 level. It seems interesting that plant-based, consciousness-expanding entheogens are considered the most dangerous on this planet and therefore are illegal, and a person will be jailed for using them. What is the mainstream establishment afraid of regarding the entheogens? These sacred plant teachers are here to heal our social, mental, physical, and emotional pain, to bring us back into balance and harmony with our planet, and to show us our divine nature. So all drugs will alter brain activity. The illegal drugs that are massively produced and available for the public create huge profits for the companies that have patented them and have legal protection. Natural botanicals that come from Mother Earth are free for the public to use and are not available for patented. Therefore, manufacturers create a synthetic version of the botanical plant, flower, fungus, and so on. Synthetic drug companies don't like competition to their synthetically created drugs. Consequently, botanical drugs are classified as illegal, and these plant wisdom keepers are kept far away from the human population. Why? The synthetic versions came from botanical plants of all kinds. Why are the botanical plants with the ability to expand consciousness the ones that are banned and illegal? Why are the synthetically manufactured drugs produced with all the negative side effects classified as safe for the public? It is interesting that the natural botanical psychotropic plants are non-toxic and have no lasting side effects, and have proven themselves over thousands of years of usage by indigenous cultures around the world for physical, psychological, and spiritual healing. They are available in nature and the public is denied access. Why is it outlawed to take botanical entheogenic plants that heal and elevate human consciousness? It is a human right to have access to psychospiritual medicine. Research has revealed that the human brain is a transmitter and receiver. The psychoactive properties within the plant change the wavelength patterns that are received by the neurotransmitters in the brain, offering communication with spiritual beings in other realms. For thousands of years, shamans have always said that there is spiritual significance with plant-based entheogens, and the connection is available with these spiritual beings in different dimensional realms. Shamanism is a pathless journey to find the wisdom within. Journeys are only stepping stones to bring one to learn higher details and teachings. At some point on a soul's journey, there comes a time when they are ready to move beyond belief systems into deeper hidden wisdoms. This causes the journey to leave these well-trodden paths and take a journey less traveled. The beginning of a pathless journey can be difficult and unknown, yet the soul needs to find this reconnection with Source. This journey is inward, and few are able to teach, prepare, and encourage others to receive these inner wisdoms and inner truths. Personal freedom provides this ability to set sail and explore one's inner dimensions. This is also a paradox, for many times it also takes inner exploration to receive the personal freedom and illumination. This usually comes with a sacrifice where one has to step outside the normal society boundaries. Yet the soul is ready to remember its true identity as an aspect of Source. Time spent in the lower worlds, the soul has forgotten that it is spiritual royalty. A person can have diminishing of or theft of their life force energy, which can happen in many ways. A highly skilled shaman can retrieve the stolen life force energy and will give it back to the rightful person whom it belongs and who was born with this energy originally. This master level shaman leaves the physical realm and goes into the spiritual realm to retrieve this stolen energy and bring it back to the initial soul. This is called soul retrieval work, is what the shamans will call this. Not all shamans do this type of work. There are special shamans that are trained to do soul retrieval work. This was one of the things I thought was fascinating. I did not know this until I was doing my research on the master plant teachers about this type of the soul retrieval work. I'd not heard of this before, so I was like, wow, this is very interesting that I came upon this information. These spiritual realms are filled with complexities and potential dangers to the shaman, who has to navigate carefully as not to get trapped or take on any entities. Usually, the stolen soul energy is on any entities. Usually, the stolen soul energy is in the middle or lower planes when going to retrieve it for the first soul that was born with their soul life force energy. This stolen energy is usually taken by adults while the soul is a young child. Since children have so much energy, they have so much light and high energy about them, most of the time the theft of the energy occurs either by a parent, a teacher, a relative, or someone who has access to the child, who feels drained of energy due to adult responsibilities. There can be a lot of energy removed or a small portion, yet this drains the child, and then sickness, dullness, depression, and so forth comes to the individual soul, for only a small amount that is needed is just barely there to sustain life is left. Soul retrieval, or life force retrieval, is needed in order for the individual to have the wholeness of their energy back and to feel fully energized and alive again. Why do you think children are preyed upon so much in society? Children are so full of light and life force energy, and it is desirable. Children are not savvy enough to be able to withstand the psychic attacks and will give in to gain acceptance and love from those around them. Even adults are open prey, if not aware of this occurrence that can take place in them. Soul retrieval, also called life force retrieval, is a long training process for any shaman who takes on this work to help heal humanity. Now, just a few comments on this one. I had a friend who I just happened to be, talking about at the time some of my research that I was doing, and this person said, this is very interesting because when I was 6 years old, all of a sudden I just really felt like the life was sucked out of me. I was just never the same after 6 years old. I just was tired all the time and lethargic. I just slept a lot. I was depressed. I was never, there was just something about, and they couldn't quite put their finger on it as to what happened to them at 6 years old that caused them to feel this way. And so we were talking about, I thought, yeah, this is very interesting. And I wasn't, I couldn't say that's what happened. I think this may make sense to a lot of you if you maybe cannot recall that there was a reason why, but people will remember like, oh, I was 14 or I was 12 and things changed for me and I don't know what happened, and when I did talk to a shaman about soul retrieval work, she had said that she interviews the person very carefully and says, well, not everybody's ready to do soul retrieval work. And I thought, well, why would that be? And she says, well, it depends on their circumstance that they're in. So in other words, if they're in, let's say, an abusive relationship and they're living with this person and she's going to try to do soul retrieval work, well, what's going to end up happening is the soul's not going to want to come back into that situation. So she has to make sure that they're in a very calm, healthy environment, that if she's going to be trying to bring this soul energy back to this person, that it was originally theirs, the soul may say, I don't want to completely come back into that situation unless it's a safe, healthy, harmonic type situation. And I thought that was very interesting when she brought that up. So it's not a matter of, well, I want my soul energy back if it's been taken. It just depends on the person's circumstance, if that's even possible. So I wanted to bring these little points up, and I'll continue to bring little things. I'll continue to read, and then I'll stop and bring up certain points that was not put into the book that can be further discussed. Shamans are all trained in rituals, yet a master shaman is a deep healer of intrusion who believes that all illness is a result of negative spiritual intrusions into the physical body, only manifesting outwardly what has transpired inwardly. Trauma, betrayal, rape, PTSD, emotional and mental health crisis, physical diseases, and so forth are a result of negative spiritual intrusion. Shamans will have many spirits helping them in their work, such as plants, animals, birds, and nature spirit consciousness from different spiritual realms. There always needs to be a person with the participant who is fully trained and will feel safe while on an entheogenic journey. All dangers should be removed and not in the area where the entheogen ceremony will take place. The atmosphere needs to be energetically cleared and purified in and around where the sacred ceremonies will be taking place and experienced by the participants. The shaman needs to be fully trained and have a lot of ceremonial knowledge and dosage levels. This will ensure a safe entheogenic journey for the participants. Shamans, ayahuasca, and vegetamisto are also called vegetalists for their work with plants. Mother Ayahuasca is a consciousness that exists in the entheogenic plants, which are called plant teachers. And they talk with people under their influence. Ayahuasca is created by taking the vine of Banistisopus campi and the leaves of the Verdius and placing them together in a pot with water, boiling until all the water is removed. While this all-day process takes place, the shaman is singing prayers and blessings over the ayahuasca mixture. Both the Banistisopus campi vine, sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing that word, but I will spell it for you. Banisteriopsis space CAAPI space vine. So it's and then there's there's leaves. So there's the bark of a tree, and then there's leaves. And the leaves is Psychoactive verdius, and I will spell that for you so you can look that up if you'd like to. These are the leaves aspect of it. PSYCHOTRIA space VIRIDIS, which contain dimethyltryptamine, which is also known as DMT, which is a psychedelic substance within these two. So what they do is they combine the bark and the leaves, and they put them together in a pot with water, and then they boil down the water until you get this kind of a thick, syrupy type brew. And then what'll happen is they'll strain it, and then they'll have this pure essence, this brew. That's what creates the ayahuasca brew, is what's left after they've strained it. Ayahuasca is the mother of the plant kingdom and heals humans of their sicknesses. Another name used in reference to ayahuasca is the vine of the soul, for it will connect the participant's soul to help with what is needed. Some scientists may argue that there is no entity in the entheogen ayahuasca. However, anyone who has ingested the sacred brew that provides mystical experiences to the participants would say they had a spiritual encounter with a divine consciousness being. Entheogens will talk with the participants, will show images, and will show their shadow side, weaknesses, and potentials, as well as heal addictions. I'm going to stop on this one. I usually, when I run into somebody who has done sacred plant medicine, a question I always ask them is, what brought you to the medicine? And it's very interesting because so many people come to the medicine for a variety of different reasons. I mean, people may have lost loved ones that have crossed over to the other side of the veil. They're on the other side of life. They want to reconnect with them. They want to make sure they're okay. And some people, they want to make sure they did make it over there, or they still do exist still. And so they're able to connect with them in these other dimensions when they cross over the veil to connect with their loved ones that have crossed over. There's those that come to the medicine to heal addictions. I did meet one person. She said that she had a heroin addiction, and Mother Ayahuasca healed her in one ceremony, and she had no sense of urges. She had no withdrawal symptoms. I mean, it was just, it was amazing. She said that she was absolutely cured in one ceremony. And and then there's others, they come in for a lot of physical healings, emotional healings, mental healings. And for spiritual reasons. So I came to ayahuasca. The reason that brought me to the medicine was for spiritual purposes only. And I can even go into more into that later into this video series, but that's what brought me to the medicine. It was an amazing experience because I've actually went through 6 ayahuasca ceremonies, and a lot has been shown to me and revealed to me. It's not for everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say it's for everybody, because it's not for everybody, and not everybody can do it. There are reasons why, physical reasons why certain people can't, whether it be on certain medications that you're on, which we will go into also in this video series. It's also in my book. If you have seizures, you suffer from those. So there are medical conditions and medical prescriptions, that medications that people are on, that do not allow them to be able to partake some of these master plant teachers into their system. And we'll also go into how to prepare your body, which is a temple, if you are deciding to go into a sacred plant medicine ceremony. So entheogens are classified as illegal due to the power of the pharmaceutical industry, which pressed governmental regulators to outlaw them. So here we have sacred botanicals from the earth that expand consciousness, and people are arrested and given a criminal record and viewed as deplorable people. It is the DMT, dimethyltryptamine, that is classified as illegal due to the potency of the evolution of consciousness. After having a mystical experience, the entheogen participant is forever transformed. This personal transformation is the basis for why removal of drug addictions with entheogens works, and they most often never come back. Even softer addictions such as sugar, coffee, and smoking. We're gonna talk more about this DMT, because this DMT is not foreign to your body. Your brain actually produces DMT. In fact, when you're laying on your pillow, waiting to go to sleep at night, and you're staring up at the ceiling, and you're just waiting, what you're waiting for is your brain to produce enough DMT for that to allow you to take you to the other side of the veil. We travel at night. The body needs to rest, but soul never needs to rest. So soul is always traveling at night. So you're in and out of these other dimensions while you are sleeping. And so again, the DMT in these plants it hooks up to the receptors in our brain. And our brain, like I said, DMT is not foreign to us. Our brain produces DMT. You need DMT to live. So this is the interesting part about why is DMT illegal when our bodies make DMT. I should say the DMT is illegal from plants. Okay, so ayahuasca is known as the Great Awakener, for it will show the participant an overall awareness of many areas of their life, so as to be able to see clearly life situations, who they were before they incarnated, and their mission in this life. People have a propensity to go toward items that intoxicate them. Ayahuasca prepares the participant for death, since there is usually a fear of this transition from the physical life to the spiritual life. Mother Ayahuasca guides one on their journey in this life. There is a connection with the native cultures, such as the Amazon indigenous tribes and the indigenous people of India and Asian countries, with the Buddhist traditions that focus on altered states of consciousness and alternative realities. Spiritual wealth and wisdoms are acquired with exposure to entheogenic medicine, which allows one to stay focused and live with a better sense of peace. There are mystical experiences that are ongoing even after entheogenic plant ceremony. The master plant teacher ayahuasca provides downloads of information from all levels and on different topics. As a person goes along their day, these epiphanies flow abundantly and instantaneously to the person. It is Mother Ayahuasca taking to her beloved initiate, explaining details, going over wisdoms, providing guidance, giving encouragement, forming goals, helping one remember their purpose work and agreement prior to incarnation, and showing perspectives from a spiritual, multi-level realm overview. This deep contact is possible and does occur for many ayahuasca participants. Tibetan monks meditate yet use plants, and one of them is called toe, also known as datura, to experience expanded states of awareness, the same type of experience that happens when a participant ingests an entheogenic plant, as when a Tibetan monk takes certain plants to achieve an enhanced state of awareness. Iboga is a master plant teacher with a masculine energy from Africa that has a psychedelic properties and originates from the Biwiti tribe and still exists today. The Iboga sacred plant has great healing powers and is deeply embedded into the African culture. People have been asking for centuries how the indigenous natives all around the world knew how to mix all these different plants together and cook them in a special way to extract the DMT into a tea, brew, tonic, or potion, which affects the initiate during the sacred ceremonies. The indigenous natives all say the same response as to how the DMT was discovered. The natives claim that the plants themselves told them how they should be used. In Africa, the indigenous natives use the iboga leaves for personal use when needed or when extreme physical labor is required. And then they use a stronger preparation level to be taken by the initiates for sacred ceremonies. Plants will reveal their wisdoms, and many times it has been mentioned by people over the centuries how the plants sang to them or talked with them and shared with them their hidden esoteric information to help humanity. George Washington Carver, who was a famous botanical chemist, explained, "All flowers talk to me, and so do hundreds of little living creatures in the woods. I learn what I know by watching and loving everything." Many shamans have stated this as well, and this is why there is this deep connection between them and the plants. There is a consciousness in the plants, plant intelligence, that speaks to the participant in the sacred ceremony and facilitates the connection with the information and spiritual presence. Each entheogenic ceremony is unique and highly personal to the participant. The plant is the teacher and facilitator to help the participant be connected with this wisdom that goes beyond the ego, shadow, personality, and conscious mind, and that instead comes from a higher level of awareness. The participant is in a state of awe and wonder at how naturally the entheogenic experience takes place and how in no way could the prearranged or it could be pre-planned. George Washington Culver once answered to a person emphatic to know about this special magic with plants. The secrets are in the plants. To elicit them, you have to love them enough, he said. On another occasion, while George Washington Culver was reaching out to touch a flower, he stated, "I am touching infinity." It existed long before there were human beings on the earth, and will continue to exist for millions of years to come. Through the flower, I talk to the infinite, which is only a silent force. Nature is alive, and the plants and nature spirits are sentient beings. The African shaman of the iboga plant shares how sacred all living beings are on this planet, and all are aspects of God. Communication exists between all forms of life telepathically. The master plant teacher, iboga, is a plant that is revered as sacred. A concept that was called Nana believes that plants have a soul due to the universal nature that Source is within all, seen and unseen. The plants have a direct connection, and when one holds any type of plant, they're holding an aspect of the divine. Plants have spiritual nerves that, through the energy of source light frequency, are connected to the cosmos and therefore hold great wisdoms. Master shamans who train for years and through untold entheogenic ceremonies learned their mastery of healing and power. The shamans' teachers are avatar angels that allow them to visit other galaxies. This is a direct quote from my cited sources. To visit other galaxies such as Andromeda and other giant stars such as Antares. End of quote. There are a lot of false people who are self-proclaiming themselves to be shamans. Most of these self-proclaimed, untrained, or very inexperienced people who claim to be shaman don't understand that there are more than just doing ceremonial work. A highly trained curandero or vegetalista takes many years serving as an apprentice under a seasoned elder to learn all about the different plants, flowers, leaves, vines, and herbs used for healing, not to mention all the plants used for spiritual purposes. Western people wanting to partake in the entheogens need to be aware of big business, unethical practices of these people claiming to be so-called trained shaman. So I did my own research, and you'll have to do yours as well. Entheogens is not for everyone, but if you are feeling called, there's like an expression that said, "I heard the call." And for myself, Mother Ayahuasca started calling me, and it took me a year to get from the time she started calling me until I was sitting in my first sacred plant medicine ceremony with her, so with the sacred brew of ayahuasca. So, I did a lot of research, and I did go through an above ground place. I did not do it below ground, but you'll feel called if you are meant, and there'll be a particular plant teacher that will call you. I guess where I'm trying to say is that you'll say, oh, how do I know I'm being called? Well, it just seemed like every time I turned on the radio or I was on the internet or I would listen to a song, or it would always have ayahuasca in it. It would have the word ayahuasca, or they're talking about ayahuasca, or they mention ayahuasca. And it's like, and after a while, you start to think, okay, I get it. So it will, trust me, it will be no mistake. If you're being called, you will know you're being called to a particular plant, a master plant teacher. And it may not be ayahuasca, and it may not be iboga. It might be something else. There's many of them. I go into the different ones in my book that have been used over the centuries by different civilizations. And again, I am just sharing with you the research that I found in the year that it took me to write this dissertation, which I then turned into a manuscript and was put into book form and published. And so this is all based on my research. This is all based on cited sources. My bibliography is pages and pages long in the back of the book. So I always tell people, you can always go through my bibliography section and read some of those books as well. Those are my cited sources where I've gotten a lot of this information from. So I just want you know that it's not just me sharing this. It's based on all research that I found while I was going through this process of writing this, like I said, dissertation / book, which became a book. Moving right along, vegetalista shaman will use specific plants to heal individuals who come to them or in a group setting of a ceremony. Depending upon the vibrational frequency level of a person, the healing will take place in some cases. In extremely low vibrational people, the plant spirit will not heal them. For people filled with evil who come for healing, the plant spirit does not want to heal them, and it could make them sicker. Therefore, the vegetalista shaman will listen to the plant spirit of each participant that has the cure for each type of ailment in order to know whether it is best to proceed or not with the person requesting the healing. So please understand, this isn't saying that if you go for healing and you don't get healing, that you're this low vibrational person. That's not it at all. It's just that in some cases, when the healing, it's like the plant is realizing that sometimes maybe the best option for this person isn't the healing. Maybe, and it's unique for each situation. So it's not a one case fits all. It's possible that this person needs to go through this experience because that's part of their learning lesson. That's part of their homework. That's what they're meant to experience. Maybe in some cases, that's what they were meant to experience because there is going to be a lot of learning. Every person, every situation is unique. And when somebody goes into a sacred plant medicine ceremony, everyone is going to have a different experience because every soul is unique, what they're going through, what they need to hear. It's as unique as each soul is. So please do not ever base your experience on someone else. Like, oh, well, they had this, but I didn't have that experience. And don't feel left out. I mean, it's very unique, and what you need, you will be given. So I wanted to kind of make sure we address that as well. Many Native cultures believe that illnesses originates from negative spiritual encounter, sorcery, or person wishing a patient harm or sending negative thought forms to them, or a psychic attack. Now, this not me be in all cases, but I'm just saying this is what the shamans believe, that I guess a lot of physical ailments can come from. The plant spirits will talk with the vegetalista shaman to inform about the proper herbs or the psychedelic plants needed in healing the sick person. Master shamans are trained for years to move from conscious reality to upper and lower realms very easily by their own choice to help individuals in their ceremonies or in one-on-one situations to heal them from what is causing issues for them. So a shaman, a well-trained shaman, will connect with the plant spirits, and they will listen to what is actually taking place or going on within this person. And then the plant intelligence, the master plant teachers or different plants will say to the shaman that these are the different plants and the combinations and the dosages that this person would need. So they need to take this maybe for a week, they might need to take it for 6 weeks, they might need to take it once a day, they might need to take it several times a day, they might only need to take it 3 times a week. So they're kind of like the pharmacists of the, of, I don't want to say, of these native cultures. I was going to say of the jungle, but they're not all natives are indigenous cultures are in jungles. A lot of them are in the Southwest, they're in the Northwest, they're in Siberia, they're all over the world. So shamans work with the spiritual aspect of illness and its causes. The shamans work in the spiritual realms, helping the participants during the entheogenic ceremony, and they also work in one-on-one situations for individuals in need of different types of healing. So not all healing is going to be physical. There could be emotional trauma, there could be mental trauma, there could be, like I said, addictions, there could be you've lost loved ones, there's so many different things that shamans work with different individuals, and what brings each person to the medicine is different. So I was in many of my ceremonies, there's breaks in between, and you can connect with people, and many of them shared of some of their mystical experiences that they had while they were in ceremony. Some of them were talking about what brought them to the medicine, and it really heals us in so many different ways and so many different levels. And so that's why I think even after someone has done sacred plant medicine ceremony, has had the integration is so important, because there's so much continually going on even way after the ceremony, years and years and years, because these master plant teachers, they do bond with your DNA. They are with you up until the time you take your last breath. So they are a sense, they are guidance to you. This is very interesting. Actually, I got this, what I'm going to talk about, I actually got this information from a book called The Secret Life of Plants. And I just thought this was just fascinating. I had to put this in the book. Plants are sentient and have memory. There is an experiment that proved this by connecting electrodes to a geranium plant. And there were 2 people who interacted with this geranium. The first person did all sorts of cruel things to the geranium, such as burn the leaves, poke holes in it, pour acid onto it, cut some of its roots. The geranium reacted to all this torture, and it was recorded on the polygraph test since the plant was connected to the electrodes. The second person was loving and kind to the geranium by treating its burned leaves, placing nutrients into its soil, spraying it with water, talking to the plant, and helping it heal back to its original state. During the entire experiment, the geranium was connected to the electrode to record the graphs on the paper as to the reactions to everything. The plant was completely healed, and the next level of the experiment continued. Then the cruel person came back into the room, and the plant was so scared that the recordings on the polygraph paper went crazy. And it was very obvious that the plant remembered this mean-spirited person who had tortured it. Then the person who was kind and took care of the plant in order for it to heal came back into the room where the plant was, and the polygraph paper recordings were smoothed out. The softer lines were showing on the graph paper, which proved that the geranium also remembered the person who nursed it back to health. And this is just fascinating how this proved it. There's like another experiment, I think it was in this same book, that it talked about how it took these a bunch of plants and they put it in a bedroom, in one room. I don't know if it was a bedroom, maybe it was in a room. And then they put a collection of other plants, different types of plants, and they put them in another room. And in one room where they had all different types of plants, so it wasn't just one particular type of plant, they had a variety of different plants potted in pots and stuff. And in one room they played classical music, spa-like music, very, tranquil music, and they just thrived. They just really grew, and they were just so healthy and strong. And then the other room where the other plants were, they played like acid rock music, like this horrible like screeching sounds and all these terrible sounds. It was just, and the plants died. I mean, they were like death or near death. And so the vibrational frequency between the two rooms really proved how it affected the plants. So that it was fascinating. I had to share that with you. So anybody who wants to know more about these type of things, it's The Secret Life of Plants was the name of the book. Okay, so this next topic within chapter 2 that I bring up is humanity is unkind and ignorant to the plant kingdom. Humans develop huge cities, remove necessary nutrients, spray and damage the ecological system, and so on. Humanity is in a state of amnesia, not realizing that we are all headed towards catastrophe, and that not respecting the plant kingdom will leave us all sick and hungry. The nature spirits urge humanity to stop the violations of natural law. Removing large acres of the plant kingdom eliminates a habitat for the animals, and therefore they are dying. Can you hear the cries of all the plants and animals that have lost their lives? Humanity has lost its deep connection with the other living beings also here on this planet. The corrupt modern societies that are causing all these atrocities can be destroyed by force, just as Atlantis was removed due to its misuse of power. There is an agreement between humans and Gaia, Mother Earth, and people's indifference and unconcerned are removing the food and shelter from all other living beings on this earth. There needs to be a new appreciation and reverence for all living beings in the plant kingdom, bird kingdom, and animal kingdom, for the humans are not the only ones living on this planet who are sentient. Okay, that concludes chapter 2, and I'm going to continue this lecture series, and the next time we'll get together will be to talk about the topics and information within chapter 3. And again, I'm doing a lecture series right on this book called Master Plant Teachers, and the subtitle is Entheogens Facilitate Mystical Experiences. And thank you for joining me. I look forward to getting back together with you at the next video. Until next time.